Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Chrissy Small, and in today's bulletin, a Cuban official comes to town, council consultation process is seen to be lacking again, and is CCTV surveillance an answer? Plus more. Cuban Ambassador Her Excellency Maria del Carmen Herrera was in Nelson this week, and we had her in our studio to talk with Graham O'Brien.
Thanks for joining us, Maria. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thanks. And what brings you to our sunny city of Nelson today?
Well, I think a good reason is to know Nelson, which is a beautiful city. I'm very happy to be here. But also as a part of my work, which is to strengthen and promote relations people to people, I'm here to try to encourage cultural links with Nelson City, to present maybe Cuban movies, to promote exhibitions, just to allow or to facilitate for the people in Nelson to know more about Cuba, and for us to know more about Nelson and its people.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we have a huge arts community. I mean, we're very interested in other countries' arts and music and culture, so we look forward to what's coming in the future.
Sure.
New Zealand has trade already with Cuba with Fonterra and milk products. What other trade are you looking for from New Zealand or with New Zealand?
Well, we are trying to promote any kind of trade. I mean, to strengthen all the areas, political, economical, commercial, with New Zealand. We already trade after several years on powder milk, also in radio communication equipment. New Zealand buy from Cuba coffee, cigars, rum, and other stuff like this. And then we are exploring the pharmaceuticals area right now. We produce some of them which are really good, and this is the idea. And on the other side is try to improve cooperation relations between the two countries in different areas. New Zealand is very strong in agriculture, so we can benefit from this experience from New Zealand.
Sure, and we're a small trading nation, so the more we can trade with, the better for everybody.
Yes.
Cuba and New Zealand have just signed an arrangement to do with the Pacific Islands. Could you tell our viewers a little bit more about this arrangement? It's quite interesting.
Yes. Well, I don't know whether you are aware that Cuba provide medical cooperation to several Pacific Island countries, which is on the basis of solidarity. I mean, it's for free. And then New Zealand is willing to help on that. So last February 12th, we signed a cooperation arrangement by which New Zealand is going to support this cooperation, Cuban cooperation in the Pacific. And the very start point is to help with the English training of our doctors, for them to serve better to the Pacific countries.
Oh, that's good. You mentioned that you have free medical staff to the Pacific Islands. Is that to other countries as well? Is this something that Cuba is doing throughout the world as a solidarity movement?
It is, and after 40 years or something, we have been doing it in Africa, some Asian countries, in the Pacific, in the Caribbean, and Latin America. It's provided mostly to developing world. I mean, it's the little we have, it's the little we share with the poor countries in the world.
Fantastic. And you've been in New Zealand as ambassador for about 3 years, I understand. Are you planning to are you here much longer, and how's your time been while you've been here?
Well, I wish to stay longer. I have been 3 years and something, and normally the tour of duty is for 4 years. So I should be finished by August, September this year. But some other ambassador would come and would continue pushing for the good relations we already enjoy with New Zealand. Yeah.
No, that's really good. You're in a top job, you're in the Cuban ambassador to New Zealand. I mean, for a woman, it's fantastic. For Cuba, it's fantastic. How did you get to this position? Did you come up through the ranks, or was this something that was given to you easily? I doubt that, but can you tell us your story?
Well, I think nothing is easy in life. I mean, but I study international political relations. We have a diplomatic academy in Cuba. Anybody could go there, and apply to study international relations in Cuba. Then after 6 years of study, I became a diplomat, and then I started working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I started very low ranks, and well, I have been promoting, but according to the rules, and making efforts to do the best in the job. So it's an honor. And I was very happy when I was appointed ambassador to New Zealand. It's my first post as ambassador, and it has been in New Zealand, and I'm really enjoying it.
Wow, and you've signed an arrangement already in your first post.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's
which is important. I mean, because we enjoy, as I said to you, very good relation with New Zealand. Yes, very good relations.
Council has come under fire yet again over its lack of consultation process after proposed changes to the Maitai walkway plan were made public. The changes involving the walkway between Collingwood and Niles Streets consist of widening the walkway by up to 4 metres in areas by removing trees from the riverbank while causing a section of Domit Street to become one way, and have all been done without open public consultation or debate. David Eyre of the Friends of the Maitai Group has spoken out, saying the plan should have had wider public engagement rather than just that of those affected residents. Friends of the Maitai would like Council to be going out for a wider degree of public consultation, especially due to the amount being spent on the project and its integral link to the CBD. In the 2014-2015 annual plan, the section of the path between Collingwood and Niles Streets was said it would be widened to a minimum of 2.5 metres, with wider sections in busy areas to reach shared path standards, with a quoted cost of $620,000, 53% of which will be covered by the NZTA. Council have now decided to proceed with the public consultation over these new changes. We reported yesterday that the Nelson Altruza House Trust celebrated its 20th birthday on the weekend. I caught up with Trust Chairwoman Di Chrissy to find out more. I'm here at the Altruza House Trust with Di Chrissy, who is the wonderful chairperson of the Trust. Now, can you tell us a bit about the Trust?
Well, the Trust was set up by our service club, which is a women's service club, an international one, began in USA, and our aim is to help the community in every way we can. And this was one of the projects we came up with. And in 1992, we decided to do this after consultation with the District Health Board. And from there it was all go. I don't think we slept that night. We went out in the community, fundraised. People were absolutely fantastic. They supported us. Lions had a golf tournament, and the Lionesses did a kitchen trail, and a little garden club in Tapawera gave us $350, and so it went.
Right.
Eventually we had almost the money, and then with the help of our good MP Nick Smith, who persuaded the lottery board to help us finance the last small section of it, we were underway. The old house that was on site was demolished and the new house built, Keith Hay Homes house, and the opening day was just so special. It was the accumulation of everything that we'd worked for. We couldn't have done it without the community. It is really a community project, and for anybody who cares to come and have a look on the wall and see all the people who are noted that contributed to it, they will understand it. We have people from far and near, Canada, Germany, all sorts of people who come after an accident, illness, sudden illness, emergencies, and families who come to support their loved one in hospital.
Right. So it fills a real need there out in the community.
Well, yes, it's a very rare night that there's nobody in there. I live just down the road and I can keep my eye on whether the lights are shining or not, which is great. And the gratitude I hear from people just blows you away.
Right. Now, Di, how do you keep this funded? How's it continuing to remain here?
Well, people pay $30 a night to stay here. If there's two of them in one room, room, it's $40 a night. And because of the continued usage of it, it well and truly funds itself. The area of the ground is on a hospital lease, a peppercorn rental, which means we don't pay anything. And the value of this house to the hospital itself is greatly appreciated by the members in the hospital.
Now, Altruza, of course, doesn't just deal with this house. When there's a surplus of money, you do other good deeds. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Oh, we've done all sorts of things in the past. When we look back over the years, when we started in 1980, and you look back over those years and you think of the disabled chairlift and the swimming complex down at Riverside, sending people scholarships.
The mums with special needs.
Yes,
of course,
we
you
have
won
Magic Mums.
Yes.
And we do that, and we take mums away who have 24/7 care of a child with disabilities and give them a lovely time away, spoil them, let them sleep in, something they don't often do at home.
Yes.
And we've also more recently taken away partners who are caring for Alzheimer's partners, and that was a wonderful day, and their stories made us thank goodness very much for what we've got. But there's all sorts of things. We are also supporting a centre in India that has a special centre that was set up for children with disabilities, learning disabilities, etc. And two of our members visited it some time ago and came back listing the special needs. So the whole of New Zealand got on board, and we've funded a permanent teacher.
So Di, it's a fantastic way for people to help within the community. And how many members do you have here of Nelson Altruza?
At the moment we have 8.
Goodness.
When we built this house we had 11.
Right.
And it was all hands to the pump, it really was.
Yes.
But it was a wonderful time, even if there were nights when the sleep was far, far away.
So are you looking for members, more members?
Oh, of course. We'd love to have more members. We'd love to have them share the friendship that we have. We're a nice group, we really are. And we're not just members, we're friends.
So what does a membership involve?
Just attending meetings, helping with the business of the club. That is quite separate from the trust. The trust is a standalone thing. But of course we have Altruza members on the trust, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But we enjoy social times, speakers, a lot of laughter. And a lot of caring for one another.
So Di, if there are keen women out there, and men?
We overseas they do have men, but we haven't found any enthusiasts here yet.
Right.
Mine and another one are unofficial members. They just get roped in to do the work. Yeah.
So you'd be happy with men and women to come and join in and be part of this
We would
group.
love to talk to anybody who's interested.
Yes.
And I'm the only Cressy in the phone book, and I would love to hear from you.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. So this is a worthy trust if you've got some free time and you're into joining some wonderful people to do some wonderful things, and this is the place to be. Have you seen a bike very similar to this one in the picture around Stoke? This bike is an unusual one as it's a Yeti carbon fibre 11-speed mountain bike, and it was taken from outside Stoke New World last Wednesday of last week. It is worth a considerable amount of money. The owner would be relieved to get this bike back, so anyone who has seen this bike or knows about where it can be found can contact Nelson Police so the bike can be returned to its owner. A situation vacant has become available for a naming sponsor of a large local aquatic centre. Yes, the ASB Aquatic Centre's sponsorship agreement has expired with the ASB Bank, leaving in effect the Aquatic Centre to pick up all of the running costs, with Tasman Council remaining responsible for cost overruns, and according to an activity management plan report, while wanting to keep the costs reduced to Tasman ratepayers, which is why Council are hopeful to be able to increase income from a sponsor to help cover costs, and are still negotiating naming rights with the ASB Bank. The complex operating costs are around $358,000 a year, with loans still outstanding on the 10-year complex of $3,495,000, which had an initial build cost of $8.9 million, which, with an estimated 218,000 people using the centre each year, would still take some time to pay off. Due to concerns over a group of young people causing trouble in the Victory Square area, there have been requests to install CCTV cameras to help prevent this damage from continuing. Some locals, however, may feel that their privacy will also be invaded, so we've sent one of our interns out to ask people on the street what they feel about it.
There has been an increase in crime in the suburb of Victory recently. What do you think of the suggested surveillance cameras to help relieve the problem?
Don't know whether it'll help, but it might catch the clowns that play up a hell of a lot quicker, because they're not having much of a success rate at the moment, are they?
If that will help solve the situation, yeah, why not?
It's, again, a fine line. I think if there are particular areas that are problematic, then once people realize cameras are there, it could be a deterrent. But you always have to remember you don't want to be too intrusive. People do enjoy their freedom, so it can alienate people as well.
It's a waste of time, just shoot all the criminals.
I think surveillance cameras do help. They deter a lot of people. Just knowing that the surveillance cameras are there is enough to deter people from doing bad things, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. And the more we can get, the better, as long as we can get the funding and they're in the appropriate places. It's not an intrusion of privacy, it's the people that we're catching, the criminals that we're catching, so we should go ahead. Yes, support it.
A new Facebook page has been launched recently to help take people on a trip down memory lane. Memories of Able Tasman is a page that has opened a window for those to look back into the families and people who use the Able Tasman as a regular place to hang out. We leave you now with some classic old footage we obtained from the Facebook page from the 1950s of life in the park. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.